everyone, and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. Today's episode is called Creative Blur featuring Topaz Adjust Ai and Topaz Studio 2. So I'm going to show you a different way of adding blurs today to your images. I normally use like Mask AI, but I'm going to show you a way that you can get a really cool blur effect with Topaz Studio 2. And you can also use it to simulate like a lens baby type creative focus lens, which is really cool. But the image starts out looking like this, and then it ends up looking like this. I'm going to show you everything I did to get here. It's a very simple edit. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned and let's get started. Just to set everything up for you, I'm starting out in Lightroom, doing no adjustments. I'm doing no sharpening, no noise reduction, and the only thing I do is some lens corrections here, remove chromatic aberrations, enable profile corrections. And the other thing I did was I did a little bit of a crop. And that was all I did to it. And then I sent it into Photoshop. And here's where I'm at in Photoshop here. And just to save time in the tutorial, I do my standard workflow. I ran DeNoise Ai on it. Let me zoom into it here. You can see the noise floor on there. It's pretty noisy. It's ISO 1600. And this is after DeNoise Ai, so the noise is gone. And then I ran it into Sharpen AI, which again is my workflow. And just check the flower out here. I'll turn on Sharpen AI. So check this focus out here and now after Sharpen AI. So as you can see, it just brought a little bit of focus back. Now, the new Sharpen AI has a new auto detect mode, so it'll know if your image had a camera shake issue or a slightly out of focus issue, or if it just needs sharpened. In this case, it needed focus just slightly. So it went ahead and did that. So I'm happy with that. And now my next step is to take it into Topaz Adjust Ai. And so I just duplicated this Topaz Sharpen AI layer and then renamed it Topaz Adjust Ai. And now we'll go ahead and launch that. So I just go up here to Filter and under Topaz Labs, launch Topaz Adjust Ai. I'm not going to do too much in here. I'm going to do that one-click wonder type of thing here. And I've made a trial run in this tutorial before I did it, and I always do that anyway. So I know where I'm heading. But anyway, I tried standard first, and I was happy with the results. I thought that looks pretty cool, because here's the before and here's the after. Yeah, that looks nice. And then I figured, hey, try the HDR style. So I went ahead and clicked that. And I thought, ooh, I really love this. I love the way the tulip looks here and the color of green and things like that looks really nice. Here's the before and here's the after. Again, before and after. And then I think I just pulled my opacity back. Maybe just a little tiny bit, like to around a 0.85. So here's the before and the after. I didn't touch any of the controls here because I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I went ahead and clicked apply and sent it right back into Photoshop. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer right here, Topaz Adjust Ai, and I'm just going to rename it to Topaz, or let's just do it TS2, Topaz Studio 2. That'll be quicker. Let me go ahead and launch Topaz Studio 2. And here we are in Topaz Studio 2. Let me switch over to Lightroom real quick here. You can see here, this was shot with a 108 millimeter lens. I shot it pretty, with a pretty large diaphragm, f5.6. So I'm getting a nice shallow depth of field with the image. But I like a super creamy background. And I have a pretty good lens. It's a Canon L lens and it's good glass. But I like that extra creamy background. So I'm going to use Topaz Studio 2 to give it to me. Now there are many different ways of blurring out your backgrounds. You've seen me use Mask AI before if you watch my videos. But today I'm going to use a really cool tool inside of Topaz Studio 2 called, I believe it's Focal Blur. And it is, right here. So let me go ahead and click that on. Now you see we get this overlay tool in here so we can place our blur. So what I like to do first is make my canvas smaller and just grab this center here of this circle right here and kind of get it over my flower. And I'm going to pull on this square right here straight down like so, something like that. I might make it a little bit wider. Yeah, I think right around there should be pretty good. And then see this little icon right here? Click that. That gets rid of that overlay. Now you have two choices here. You have circular blur or tilt and shift. I want circular blur. And you have a blur slider and a transition slider. Very simple and easy tool to use. So let's make our canvas a little bigger now. So let's take our blur and let's give us that extra creamy blur. Something like maybe right around there. And then I'm going to click my canvas, left click with the mouse so you can see the before and after. Now, it's got the edge of the flower here a little bit. It's a little soft on the edges here. And I actually kind of like that. Kind of looks like a lens baby shot. So I don't think I need that extra sharpness right here on the edge, because I'm mainly interested in this petal right here and right in here. And here's a good little tip for you. When you're doing this kind of flower photography, because this is what I specialize in, you just have to have something in focus. And this is really what I want you to look at. So I like this creaminess here. I think it looks very artistic. But if I wanted to get rid of it, I could use a layer mask and, you know, just paint some more of that sharpness back in with the layer mask. But I think that looks good, and I'm really happy with it. So here is the before and here is the after. To me, this is a pretty strong image right out of the camera, so I don't think I need to do a whole lot of editing to this image here, so I'm going to be happy with what I've done here inside of Topaz Studio 2, so I'm just going to go ahead and accept it and send me back into Photoshop. Now, I'm just studying the image, and a couple little things bug me. See, like this little area right here. I don't like this color right here, or on the edge over here. I think it detracts, and even in here. So if you've ever watched me work on flower images before, you know I love this technique, and this technique is golden, so pay close attention here. Get yourself a blank layer, all right, and get yourself a paintbrush, and make sure your flow is at, let me get the right brush here. I was working on another image with a different brush. I'm just getting a soft round brush. And opacity 100%, but make sure your flow is at 5%. Okay, whoops, that's 56%. All I'm doing is holding the shift key down and pressing 0.5 to give me 5%. That lets me, you know, keep building and building and building up. So what I do is simply sample a color close by here, like this color right here, and just simply paint. Now I'm painting on a blank layer. See how I can just fix that right up. And now I'm going to get this color right here. I'm going to sample this color and paint right down here, this green. Now I'm going to use that same green and just paint around here. I'm going to get even close to my flower here, but I don't care. I'm going to get on the flower a little bit, but I'll fix that with a layer mask in a little bit. I'm going to keep using that same green color. I'm even going to get over in here just a little bit. Hey, it's a blurry background, right? And all I have to do is make it look realistic. Okay, I'm just going to paint over here as well, and just on this here. I just don't like that bluish cyan type cast that it's putting on there. And over here, I'll just grab this color, and I'm blending. But the more I stroke with my brush, it just, you know, the more paint goes down. So like right up in here, if I don't like this color, I sample that color right there, and I'm just going to get rid of it like so. Let's get some more up in there. Okay, and this blue in here I think is kind of ugly. So let me come down and get that same green color and just paint over some of that ugly blue. Just like that. And then this red up here, I don't like it. And even this lighter color around here, I'm going to get rid of that. Yeah, just like so. I think that's good. I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller and just paint right up here. You're seeing me do this in real time, so this is how I do it. But if you use this kind of a technique, you will set your images apart from other people's images. Now, what I like to do is click the layer on and off, and look at this flower right in here. And even these out of focus flowers. If I need to use a layer mask to get rid of some of that green off of those. So there's the before and after, but as you can see, it really makes a big difference, right? And yeah, so I can see where I went over my flower. So all you need to do is grab a layer mask, and you can still use that 5% flow. Make sure you're painting with black paint. And I have a nice soft brush here, but I'm just going to come down here and keep stroking away till I get rid of that color. And I know there's a little bit over here, and I know there's some up in here. Like right there. And if I painted too much on the edge there, I'll just switch it to white paint. And just go like that. And like these flowers right up in here with black paint, I'll just make sure I didn't paint over those. Doesn't matter if I paint over them a little bit, it won't hurt it at all. So let's take a look here. Here is the before the repaired background. Not bad, but I think that looks a lot nicer. I think it has a nicer flow and a feel to it. There's only one final thing to do, and that is, do you notice like these little dots? And always examine your flowers, like these little imperfections in a flower. In our world, let's make it a perfect world. Let's get rid of some of these dots. So to do that, very simple, get yourself a blank layer, get yourself a healing brush, and make sure that you have it set for sample all layers, because you're going to be painting on this blank layer right here. And all you do is, adjust your brush size accordingly and just go like so. Just paint over the little blemishes and things like that, and you will get rid of them. And you'll be a lot happier. And I think your flower will be happier for it as well. So give it a little bit of makeup, just clean up its imperfections a little bit. You don't have to get them all, but just the ones that bug you. Something like that. Now let me zoom back out. And these are the little things that will really set your images apart from others. So here's the before, and here's the after. Just getting rid of a couple of those blemishes. I caught one more thing that bugs me. Does this bug you? See this little white dot right here? Let me go ahead and zoom in here. So all we need to do if we want to get rid of that is let's go back to this painting layer right here. And providing the layer mask isn't covering it. So let's go on the paint here. Let's sample. Let's make sure we have a brush. Sample this color right here. Let me see if make my brush a little smaller. And I still have that 5% flow on there. Yeah. Okay, so I can just paint right over that. Get rid of it. We don't want that. Or at least I don't want it. Okay. You may like it. So right like that. I think that does it. I think it fixes it right up because it's out of focus anyway. Well, there it is. I love flower photography and I love soft, shallow depths of field, and Topaz Studio 2 is great for getting some nice blurry backgrounds. And with that focal blur, you can simulate like lens baby type looks. And I love lens baby lenses as well. And also Mask AI is great for sharpening the backgrounds. And I have several videos on that. And Adjust AI is becoming one of my new favorite pieces of Topaz software because I love the colors that HDR has given me on this image here. So, hey, give that one a try as well. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and click that bell notification icon. Then every time I upload a new video, you will be notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today on The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I'll see you all right here next time, but until then, happy editing.